Haven't Seen It Mini with Tim Sestito and Tommy Tevene. Hello, everybody. Welcome on in. Thank you all so much for listening today. This is a podcast where one of us is watching a movie for the very first time, and today that is myself, that is Tommy, that is upstairs Steve, coming back and joining us on the podcast to discuss what is my most anticipated film release of the year. Paul Thomas Anderson's One Battle After Another finally hit theaters. We were finally able to experience it. These are our mini episodes with new releases. They tend to be around 30 to 40 minutes. We're going to do a little non-spoiler section, and then we'll go to give you our general thoughts, and then we will go right into our full discussion about the movie. Guys, what were you thinking about this movie before its release? Like, did you have any anticipation for this upcoming release?
For me personally, like I saw the trailers, and the trailers I think like they did not know how to market this movie like whatsoever.
I don't know.
Because
I After seeing this movie, I think that they kind of did a pretty good job.
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. It's a Paul Thomas Anderson movie. They're kind of really hard to market.
yeah. I mean, basically, you just have to say Paul Thomas Anderson, and then like Timmy and I are here, but like general audiences. I mean, it's not a shocker this hasn't so far been like a huge box office hit, but
It did.
regardless,
It's at on Wikipedia 53.1 million.
Oh
yeah,
wow.
which is good.
I think
But
that's worldwide, but I think it didn't do great domestic. It was number one, but it didn't do like fantastic. But it's a 2 hour 42 minute. I think word of mouth will really help this one.
I mean, that's why upstairs Steve saw because he was like, "Let me know if the movie's good," and I'll see it. And I was like, "It was."
Well, yeah, that's the thing was that like, if you want to talk about your general like, movie goer, that would be me. I know definitely more than the average bear, but I've definitely never seen a Paul Thomas Anderson movie before. And I'm
You've seen
Really?
Boogie Nights.
yeah, believe it or not, no, I have not. No, I haven't.
What?
Oh, what?
Yeah, yeah.
I
Sorry.
thought
I
that
wanna
you're
put on
how have we got how have we had you on the
shoes.
how have we had you on the
Are,
podcast like
are,
five or
are,
six
are we
times?
shutting it down, or we're just doing this now?
No,
We
no,
just
no.
Yeah,
But we have now mentally. Your next appearance will be Boogie Nights. Okay.
Boogie Nights. I'm sorry, I've definitely seen that. I didn't know that was him.
Oh,
I'm
you
sorry.
just.
okay.
Yeah.
What a
Yeah, I was
bummer.
about to say you just like pretty much like popped our cherry, and I'm like, we
No,
gotta
no, 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 no. That's the actually, you know what? Now that I'm
that's
scrolling
the
down,
exact opposite of
that
popping
is
cherry,
the
but
only movie I have seen. But anyway,
okay.
listen, this is the mini episode, man. We got this may be a mini, but we got some big ideas. All right. And I didn't know shit about this movie walking in. I saw like one of the trailers, but the trailer again didn't really do its justice. Like,
Yeah.
going into how many layers that this movie really has. Truly, I mean, it takes place over the span of like 16 years, so that's a lot of layers in and of
Yeah,
itself. So.
and like the first 40 minutes of it are not from Leo DiCaprio's perspective. It's from who is it? Regina Hall's perspective.
For the
Well, his
most part,
wife,
yeah.
his
Is
wife more than
is
anything.
or Tiana Taylor,
Yeah.
Perfidia Beverly Hills. It was basically told from her perspective, and it was basically like a 40-minute prologue of a movie, like for
Mhm.
the movie, and then it kind of
Yeah,
goes into the adventure there. I think it was needed. I think it really like it was important to see that one, these people were good at what, or relatively good at what they did, or somewhat effective at what they did as revolutionaries, and they were also like building the characters up and building that relationship up between Leo and Perfidia, and then his daughter Willa, like having that connection there just really strengthens it because this movie really is a father-daughter movie at
it
its
really
core.
is. And
Mm.
as fucked up as it may seem, it is definitely like amongst all the revolutionaries and the freedom fighting. At its core, it's definitely a family movie.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Definitely.
and I think also with it, spoiler free or whatever, I really like the cast is just incredible in this. Sean Penn and Benicio del Toro are so good in this. It's a real action movie. It's not like, oh, Paul Thomas Anderson finally tried an action sequence and he put one in there. No, no, no. There's like a ton of set pieces in this movie. It does
Mhm.
not feel its length at all.
This movie is
Tiana
like
Taylor.
pushing.
Is that how I pronounce her name, by the way?
Yeah,
Tiana
yeah,
Taylor, yeah.
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 Incredible. I'd
She
never
was
really.
like
Yeah, I don't
she
think
was
I've
like
seen
a
her in
hidden.
anything, right?
Yeah, she was a hidden revelation for me. Like I never really seen her or anything. I mean, granted, like I don't think either of us have seen Coming to America sequel or the White Man Can't Jump remake. So this really feels like a breakout for her. Next
We'll
connection,
come
she
back to
was
her in
married.
the spoiler section for sure. But
She was married to Amon Shumpert, which is
is
hilarious.
that right?
Yeah,
Really?
my old
Nick
yeah,
Legend.
Nick
Ah,
Legend. Yeah. But
wow.
overall, she
That says a lot about the Knicks that Iman Shumpert is a Knicks legend.
yeah.
How
For
many
like
rings does he
doing
have with them? Zero.
For
for
just being
doing
like a slightly above average player. It's like
for
Yeah.
having a
we
cool
had
dunk
one of
in
them.
a he had a cool dunk in a playoff series we lost.
Yeah.
That's why he's a Nick
And he
Legend.
had the hair like what was his name?
The
Gerald.
Gerald hair
He had the
from
Gerald
Hey
hair
Arnold.
from Hey
Yeah,
Arnold.
yeah,
Yeah. He had that
Yeah,
haircut
yeah.
going on. He definitely had swag. So good for him. But yeah, no, this was great. I feel like I'm just talking. Tommy, Steve, any other general thoughts about
So,
this movie?
general thoughts. I mentioned this before we started recording, but I think this is the funniest Sean Penn has been in a movie since Fast Times. I mean, he definitely like stayed away from comedy after Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and this
It
feels
worked
like
for his career.
yeah, it definitely worked for his career. I mean, you can't complain, but it's good to see him in a more goofy role, even though he still has like a bit of menace to him, but in a
A
way, it's
bit?
like yeah, a bit of menace of like a jackass menace.
just a bit.
Just a touch, just a tad.
Yeah.
More than a
Other
bit,
than that,
but
he's totally
The
normal.
menace just nicked him.
Yeah.
no, but he's like a villain that you love to hate in a way where it's just like, oh, look at this fucking jackass go. So and also like in terms of performances too, I mean, Leo DiCaprio, he's essentially playing the dude in a way. He's
Yeah, a
for
little
stretch
bit.
of the movie.
There's definitely
There's
the dude in him
there's
There's a
definitely
lot of
elements of the
dude in him
dude.
for sure.
from the Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Between the pot and the forgetting of the passwords,
Oh,
codes.
yeah, that's a tremendous sequence there that like I think lasts like 40 minutes. The forgetting of the password sequence, like that just
Mhm.
goes on and it's just fantastic.
It's
Like
so great.
there's
And he's just trying to tell them, like, listen, I'm an absolute fucking legend of your guys' resistance. And the other guy just has no idea who he is. He just doesn't care.
I also think this movie it takes a minute, but once it shifts to Leo DiCaprio's characters, Ghetto Pat, Bob Ferguson, once it goes to his perspective, the movie
Yeah.
gets incredibly funny.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
It's a very, very like my I want to say I saw it on a Monday evening. My crowd was like anywhere between half to three quarters full, which I think is pretty good for a Monday for a movie like this, and it, laughing throughout the whole thing. Like it's a very funny movie,
It is.
despite the heavy themes and tones and just
Well,
the
like
intense story.
PTA is a director you don't really think of. Like when you hear his name, you don't think immediately comedy, but a lot of his movies have a
All of
great
his movies.
undercurrent. Yeah, like have a great undercurrent of comedy, like especially like Boogie Nights and like even Punch Drunk Love, even though it's a different type of Sandler than we're used to. Even There Will Be Blood, which we covered last week, has moments that are just like downright fucking hilarious. And Daniel Day-Lewis just like fucking
Licorice Pizza is a comedy.
yeah, Licorice Pizza is definitely is like of all of his movies like
The comedy
com
of
the
yeah.
comedy of horror, but like again, like this is an action thriller that like still is like you're laughing throughout, and like we said, this movie's pushing 3 hours. I did not feel its length whatsoever.
Yeah. I was just
And
telling the guys too. Like I was locked in the entire time. Typically, like, with like any movie that's around 3 hours, I'm getting up to at least stretch my legs or go to the bathroom at least at one point or another. I didn't once for this movie. You're locked in the whole time because you have
yeah,
no idea where it's going to go, really.
oh
Yeah,
whatsoever.
it's a trail. It's a full trailblazing adventure once the movie gets its legs. Once Willa uh, and Bob have their moment at the house, like the movie just picks up full steam and it doesn't stop till the very end. Um, would you guys recommend this movie to anyone?
I
Definitely,
recommend
this
this
is a
movie to everyone.
yeah, definitely without a doubt recommend it to everyone. This is I think one of my favorites of the year so far. So yeah.
I would agree. Probably my favorite of the year. That is our no spoiler talk on One Battle After Another. If you have seen it or if you don't care, Right after this message, we will come back.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
Go faster! No, 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 no!
Where are you taking me?
I need to find my daughter. You know where I can get a gun?
Courage, Bob. Courage.
Me and Willa's mom, we used to do some real bad. Now they're coming after us.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
You have to save that child.
Come on, baby, come on.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
Got more fight in you than the rest of us.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
One battle after another. Rated R.
One Battle After Another is a 2025 American action thriller that follows an ex-revolutionary who must rescue his daughter from a corrupt military official. So as we kind of touched on before, the beginning of this movie really revolves around Perfidia. She's kind of the central character to this prologue. She's the one who gives the narration and the voiceovers throughout the movie at various points. How did you think that she was depicted? Because it comes off very radical. Like the first 5 minutes is them releasing an immigration detention center, and it's like very intense right away. Like it gets you gripped immediately.
Well, I'll say this immediately. She is just such an in-your-face type of character that I thought that she was going to have more of a significant role down the line, but it does kind of stand to reason her like kind of absence in the rest of the movie. She does have this big personality, this dynamite personality in the beginning. And, you can kind of see where a guy like Bob, Leo DiCaprio's character, falls in love with a person like that, this strong revolutionary woman that's, just trying to support the cause. I thought for sure that she was going to make some sort of appearance to try and like meet up with her daughter, rescue her daughter again later on in the movie. But I'm a little glad that she didn't, because I think that her impact in the movie left more of a lasting impression in those beginning scenes to kind of show what kind of inspiration that she like kind of left on Leo DiCaprio.
Well,
I was shocked that she didn't show up at all in the second half. Like
I'm not. I mean, they kind of completely wrote her out. Like she went into Mexico and we don't see from her again. And her disappearance completely changes the trajectory of Bob and Willa's life. Like the father and the daughter, they end up, living under false names now, in a sanctuary city, just kind of completely off the grid, completely paranoid. Or Bob is, his teenage daughter is like, what is wrong with you, man? Like, let me go live my life, which I don't blame her until that pops up. But I like later on when she gets rescued by Regina Hall's character, Deandra, and she asked about her mother and was like, did my mom rat anybody out? And she was like, yeah, she did. And I thought it was a very interesting character moment there, because from the beginning we learn about her character. Like, she's this revolutionary, fuck the establishment, F this, F that, right? It's all of that. And then when she gets caught after stupidly shooting a security guard during a bank robbery, because like it's like clearly like it starts off with like, if you are against the way that illegal immigrants are treated here, right, and you want to free those centers, that's one thing. But then going in and robbing people's money, it goes from like, oh,
it goes from freedom fighter to terrorist really quick.
To criminal this. And then when she shoots that security guard, it goes from like, oh, this is youth and rebellion and all this stuff. It goes from that to, what
whole other angle.
There's that great monologue in that scene though, with Shayna McHale, who plays Jungle Pussy, a member of the French 75, who
and that's her stage name too. That's her real stage name.
Is it?
So
that's
is that right?
yeah. So she's like a rapper, or she's a rapper, and that's like pretty much like her stage name. She goes by Jungle Pussy.
Right.
But yeah, she was like just like a force of nature when she goes to that bank robbery scene where she's like, I'm a black woman, this is what's going on right here, and
this is my power, and then immediately it's evaporated when Perfidia decides to to shoot someone because then it goes from a bank robbery into a homicide. And we learn that Stephen Lockjaw is this military official. It's his character introduction is very weird because he's the one running this immigration center
Yeah, Sean
camp,
Penn.
or Sean Penn's character. Stephen Lockjaw. So I need to throw this out here. I just mentioned this off the before we recorded, but I need to mention this now so I don't forget my point. Paul Thomas Anderson is he the best at coming up with character names?
Yes.
I definitely think he's up there. Like
Sensei Sergio St. Carlos for
I mean, like
even There Will Be Blood. Daniel Plainview is such a great name.
Fantastic.
And you would think that Jungle Pussy was one of his, but it's not.
You would. Perfidia Beverly Hills, Ghetto Pat Calhoun, and then Stephen J. Lockjaw as your corrupt military official is just sensational. Like truly a tremendous thing. But he clearly has this weird sexual attraction to Perfidia because she's holding a gun at him, and then he gets an erection.
Yeah, the boner scene was a little awkward, but
I thought it was funny.
It was hysterical. Not gonna lie to you.
That was when you knew. That's when you knew. That's when I knew. I was like, okay, so this is a Paul Thomas Anderson movie. This will still have it. This will still have its moments here.
A lot of sex going on.
Its weird horniness will still exist here.
Yes.
But I feel like I need to watch this movie again. Like I feel like I'll have a clearer sense of things after I watch it again. Because I'm trying to I've been thinking about this movie all day. I saw it last night. I'm trying to still comprehend exactly how I feel about it.
Yeah. Now, did you have a feeling the entire time that Leo DiCaprio's daughter could be Sean Penn's before they even make mention of it?
I thought of it because there is a scene where they sleep together, but she all we see is her going on his backside.
Yeah.
And then
but you could definitely imply it.
It's
definitely implied in that whole sex montage.
And how much Sean Penn talks about how much he loves black women.
Yeah,
that's one of his character traits.
It's funny that it's his defining character trait, and then he decides to try to join the Christmas Adventurers Club.
The Christmas Adventurers,
which is just a white nationalist group, by the way. They are just literally we are the superior race.
Yeah. But the great thing about it is how many character actors in the white nationalists. You have Tony Goldwyn, who was the best friend in Ghost as one of the Christmas Adventurers.
That's right.
Yeah. He showed up and was oh shit. And the old guy in the center, his name was Kevin Taihe. He was a guy who showed up in so many 80s, 90s action movies as the guy that'll get in your face and be annoying. He was also Jason Segel's dad in Freaks and Geeks. I was oh, that guy's still alive?
Oh,
Fuck
wow.
Yeah, let's go.
Wow. I'm looking at his page right now. He was best known for portraying firefighter paramedic Roy DeSoto on the 1972 to 1977 NBC series Emergency! !
And if you were a Lost head, he was John Locke's dad in Lost.
I was never a Lost head. I feel like I missed the boat.
The Lost thing.
You're a little lost. So there's one thing I want to talk about Sean Penn. This is something that I heard on the Unspooled podcast. Paul shared me this point, but I thought it totally tracks. Sean Penn feels like he based his character of Lockjaw off of Vince McMahon.
I could see that just with the walk and the puffy chest and everything.
Swagger and everything
that total gait and everything. Yeah, I could definitely see that. I mean, not for anything, Stephen J. Lockjaw, that's a fucking wrestler's name. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If totally it's not a video game boss's name, it's a wrestler's name. All right, that's all it is at the end of the day.
I can definitely see it. It's definitely in that physicality. After he suffers the leg injury, he walks just kind of if you think of the Vince McMahon strut, even if you're not a wrestling fan, you've probably seen the image of the main guy from WWE just
it's a meme
walking. Yeah, it's a meme. You've definitely seen it. That physicality. I mean, Sean Penn was so funny. There's also that there's the beginning is kind of weird, just thinking about it. And I think it's the one thing that's maybe going to hold this back from connecting with a general audience, because there's just lots of things right after Perfidia and Leo have the baby, Sean Penn shows up there and is like behind Leo at a grocery store buying like baby supplies, and then just starts asking about him. Oh, do you have a
Yeah.
mixed race child? And he's just like, I love black women.
But
I
see, I
love
always
him.
thought that was because he knew that they were fucking, and he wanted him to kind of know, like, yeah, I have an interest in your girl too, like trying to size him up, so to
Hey,
speak.
I
As
might,
short as Sean Penn might be, he was trying to size him up.
and
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
hey, I might be the father.
Mhm.
Yeah, let's call
Yeah.
him out. Well, there's one thing that, like, as much mess as he does have, we did talk about that. He also has the buffoon, but his second in command, Danvers, is like terrifying throughout the movie. Where that guy is
Yeah.
interviewing people, interrogating people, like you really feel the heat. And apparently, that guy Danvers was a non-professional actor, and he was like a security consultant and like a former HSI. A special agent. It's like that's shit that guy used to do for his fucking career. So like you
Oh, wow.
really feel it. It's just like because you feel intimidation when like what's her name like Chasing Finney's like friends like get interrogated by him, and like you could feel like the like
We can
how
do this
taken
the
back they
easy.
are.
We could do this the easy way or the hard way. You can have you out of here in 10 seconds, or we'll lock you up. And it's
Yeah.
like,
And it's
it's-
interesting. I don't think you see that character at all instead outside of like an interrogation scene.
yeah, I don't
Correct me
think
if I'm
so.
wrong,
Maybe he walks. I'd have to see it again to like
Yeah.
fully track everything. Um, I I I want to try to discuss the politics of this movie and the timing of its release. I think this past September has been quite a roller coaster, if you will. Without, I think everybody could agree with that one, regardless where you lie.
Yeah.
But it's very interesting timing for this movie to come out. Here,
Is that by design? Is my first question, Tim.
So from what I know, Paul Thomas Anderson. So this was based off a Thomas Pynchon novel. And
It was basically a jumping off point because he realized that like novel Vineland was going to be like
and even it's apparently like one of Pynchon's lead. I'm not a big Pynchon head. I did read Inherent Vice when the movie came out. I didn't love the book. I also didn't love that movie, but that's another thing. But I think that's like that is apparent. That is like a pretty literal translation of the novel, and this taking like a big idea and just doing your own thing with it is probably was the correct choice in this one.
Yeah.
Here, but I wonder how, like, to you, did this when you're watching this, did you connect to anything that has been currently going on in this movie?
Well, first of all, the fact that like the opening of the movie like takes place of them like raiding like a detention center for immigrants. Like
Yeah, I mean
level is-
that shouts it at the rooftops right there.
yeah. I mean that's the most obvious one right there. But like immediately, this movie like makes a statement, and like I'm almost shocked that we don't see like a stupid culture war coming out of this movie from Twitter. Maybe it will in a couple of weeks, and like maybe I spoke too early.
When enough people see it.
I mean, listen, it's inevitable because the world is dumb now, and like and it's both sides where it's like, but if if you're like strictly like, I check off every box on this side and I check off every box on this side, anything that doesn't check all these boxes is a problem now. I do think in terms of this movie itself, one, it doesn't like the revolutionaries don't really get any like they're just kind of anarchists. Like they don't really have a platform. One, two, they're not really like
They don't
not-
stand for anything except for anti-establishment
and chaos and like
yeah.
like it was smart of PTA to start with the detention center raid, right?
Yeah.
But then it goes into bombing courthouses, bombing public places, robbing banks,
Politician offices. Yeah.
Yeah, like
It
going
started
after
becoming something that it wasn't in the beginning because they gained that sort of power.
They gained that sort of power, and I feel like throughout Paul Thomas Anderson's career, he's always kind of done this really well. Where like we just covered There Will Be Blood. Daniel Plainview is the best example of this, where you're just like you're kind of looking at the character, but like everything he's saying, you're like, oh, like this. I guess this seems like a good guy. I don't know, like he's a little used car salesman-y, but like okay, like, and then as the movie progresses, like does that, but then you still have that first impression of them, and you're left feeling like I think I like this character, and he does that really well with his protagonist. Like even Boogie Nights, like I think he does that really well with Dirk Diggler and
Yeah.
bringing him up from like you're really
He's an
rooting for this
anti,
kid.
you know, he's
He does
your
the
hero of the
anti-heroes.
story, but you can also understand why he got himself in the situation.
Yeah, and
You know, and it's hard to kind of feel for him, you know?
yeah, and I don't like. I don't think this movie like takes as definitive a side of things because it's like, despite being political, it's not politics, right? Like it's not people yelling at each other on a TV talking about different issues and stuff like that. Like there's none of that conversation here. It's just like
No,
this
but
is what's
in the back-
happening and this is the response. It's in the background a little bit, but it's
in the
not. It's
background,
not.
especially there's stuff like the Benicio del Toro character who like basically his whole thing is that like yeah he's like a karate teacher but he's also a leader of undocumented immigrants in the community and like
And
how
they're
they,
they're successful. He rescues 160 people like in there versus the French 75 who are like this like supposed infamous rebellious group, but they're not.
well
They're,
it is funny not in the politics side of thing but like how this movie opens up with the star of Paul Thomas Anderson's last movie, Alana Haim, as one of the French 75, and then she gets fucking brained at one point.
Yeah, she
like
gets
40
shot.
minutes in.
I mean, and it makes the villains of this movie, like our heroes are kind of anti-heroes, but our villains are also
Are very, very strong villains.
very strong villains, very authoritarian, kind of acting with no due process, none of that, just acting in their way, the way they want to, thinking they are above the law.
Well, it's like the whole reason why Sean Penn ends up dying, and the reason that he's not like Welcome to Christmas Adventures is because he had sex with a black woman, and they think that that's not right.
Right. But now, having said that, Tommy, why do you think they chose to bring him back just to kill him off 10 minutes later?
Because they thought he was going to die there.
Yeah,
I assumed he was already dead after the car crash.
I thought he was dead too.
Well,
and then we just see him waddling.
Yeah. you see the Vince McMahon strut one last time.
Yeah.
Everybody in the theater erupted laughing when that happened.
No, but it was great that he like kept on rolling on. But like basically, like they in the final scene when like he walks into the office, I thought he was about to get Joe Pesci, like he was going to get shot in the back.
I thought so too. Oh my god!
Yeah.
When the guy in the Christmas Adventure Club was like, "Oop, I forgot your keys. Let me be right back." I was just like, he's done. Like,
I mean, I knew he was going to die, but like I didn't know the way he's taken out was like such a like subtle way, where it was like just a gas leak.
That scene was also really funny, where they were like, "So you did have this affair?" And he's like, "I was reverse raped, sir."
Reverse rape.
Why would they? Why would she reverse rape you? And he was like, I was unconscious. Like he was like, "Well, how did you let that happen?" "Well, I was drugged and unconscious." "Then how do you know there was residue in a private area?" Why would she want to do that? "I think she wanted my semen, sir, to create a superior being." And then the one guy just goes, "She was a real semen demon, huh?" And I was just like, that's such a funny line.
I lost my shit. That
especially knowing that they're going to kill him.
Of him trying to lie about it, like everybody in the theater at that point, because you have this tense action movie, and then this is how it ends with him trying to lie about like his sexual relations with a black girl, and just oh my god, everybody in the theater was dying laughing that time.
And I mean, it's like a portrayal of like Lockjaw is like in your face kind of evil, but this is the Christmas Adventurers Club is in the shadows evil.
Yes.
Like it's a depiction of the Illuminati or whatever you want to call it. It's that.
Well, I do like also though, like at the end of the movie, the only person who gets taken out is Lockjaw. You don't have like Leo taking out the whole Christmas Adventurers Club and stuff like that. Like this,
but that was never his. That was never his character.
That was never his fight. Yeah.
Well, no, exactly. But at the end of the day, like the title says, one battle after another. The movie ends with his daughter, Leo's daughter, going off to Oakland to fight protests or something like that. And this is going to keep on happening over and over again. Like this is not done. But I do just love Leo's just like whole entire spiel, like the camera work when he's with Benicio del Toro and he's like trying to like find the apartment and run away and stuff like that, and how it's there's so many like tracking shots that
Oh
happen
yeah,
throughout
the
that
camera,
sequence.
the camera,
Yeah,
not the sequence, the whole like
well, the whole movie, but especially like that was one of the standout sequence for me. Like he keeps on going inside the apartment, he keeps on walking around, goes to Benicio del Toro walking away and like trying to tell him the password thing. He's like, "What time is it?" Benicio del Toro just tells him the time, thinking that's what
oh,
he's asking for.
what time is it? Was so funny.
Yeah.
Hysterical.
It's killed so
Oh,
hard. He's trying to get this rendezvous point. They keep asking the revolutionary hotline is like, what time is it? It's a code. And he's been smoking weed for 18 years. He doesn't remember this. And like the nerdy guy on the other line is like, you might want to take out the revolutionary texts and study them a little bit more. And he's just like, fuck you. Are you kidding me? Blah, blah, blah. And then he finally gets in touch with his old partner. Like, and he's just
Yeah.
like,
And the code word was,
Well-
"What kind of pussy do I like?" And he remembers it.
he just remembered it.
Immediately.
He's like clean shaven or whatever the line
Yeah,
was. It's
hairless
just so,
Mexican.
Hairless Mexican. That's what it was. Yeah. It's just so funny.
what I love about that sequence too is that you expect the whole entire time that the person who's like talking to Leo on the other end is gonna be some like young Gen Z fuck that's just like a stickler for the rules, and ends up being some like young, some old hippie. In a way, just like
Yeah.
a real like reversal of what you expect at all.
And they're like, apologize to this man. This is ghetto Pep right here. You apologize
Yeah.
to this man.
Yeah, this man's a war hero. And that's the best part was that like Leo DiCaprio was trying to tell him the entire time. Ask anybody you're with, they will know who I am. Just
Yeah.
put me fucking through. And he's like,
He's
as
like-
long as
and
you
he's
can
like-
tell me the time.
And he's like, I know this number. I know half of it. Like, just come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm telling you enough here that we should be able to
yeah,
get past this part. It was very funny. And then I think my favorite. So so the action sequences in this are incredible. We need to touch upon those. The whole escape from his house, like when the camera starts moving and the movie just like you blink and it's kind of over. Like that's the pace that it keeps.
yeah, with his underground tunnel and everything.
His underground tunnel from that point to when we get to the sensei Benicio, who I loved Benicio. Like Leo is so neurotic and so out of his mind, and Benicio is just cool, calm, collected. Like he's been waiting for this
sensei.
moment. He's a sensei. He's disciplined. He's been waiting for this moment, just fully in control of everything there. I really wanted to, like my favorite shot in the movie was the rooftop escape, like when they're jumping in the shadows with like the blue lights there, like the from like the riots outside with the fires. You have like the blue hint of like the neon outside, and then the red shooting up, and they're just jumping over, and it looks incredible.
Oh, yeah.
That part of the escape sequence there, like all of that just felt so like so tense, and then the movie kind of takes a breath for a couple minutes. Like we get Willa to the nuns chapel, which is the nuns sanctuary, I suppose, where they just where it kind of calms down for a minute until Leo escapes the after getting arrested and
And
kind
the
of
best
goes
part
into
is
that.
Well,
that
even
he only
I love-
escapes after getting arrested because everybody inside of the hospital was kind of in with the revolutionaries, right?
Well,
Like,
no, they weren't in with the revolutionaries. They were in with Benicio. Benicio's
Yeah,
the one who
that's
freed
what
him.
it was. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
So,
and
and he just effectively just walked his way out of there.
yeah,
And that was the best part. It was
Yeah, that was
after-
amazing.
After
And
all
his-
that, it
his
doesn't even
arrest-
matter that he got arrested. He just
his
walked
arrest though
way
was
out.
hilarious. The way that like he completely failed jumping over like the ledge of like the apartment
to be
complexes.
fair, that was
That's pretty
a
lucky,
big
yeah.
that was a bigger jump than I think anybody would have like the way
Yeah,
the other
yeah,
guys
I
did
wouldn't
it.
make it.
Yeah.
There's no way you would make it, Tommy.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think it's safe to say
um,
all three of us would probably not make that jump. That
Oh.
was like a 15-foot jump. Like that was
It's like I watched The Long Walk over the weekend, real quick on a tangent, and I was watching the movie thinking like I would probably be the first one dead. It's basically like the whole movie's like you can't go under 3 miles an hour for the whole entire time. Or if you do that 3 times in the span of an hour, you get shot.
Tommy, 15 minutes in, you'd sit down and take out your Switch because you're just like, I got to see what my
Yeah.
2K team's up to, okay?
God, like, can I just smoke a bowl real quick? Is that cool?
Yeah.
But yeah, but one thing I love, Chase Infinity, Leo's daughter. This is her first movie role. I think that she's definitely gonna have a promising career. her name, like her Chase Infinity, was named after two pop culture characters from '95. First was Nicole Kidman in Batman Forever, who is Chase Meridian, and
Huh.
second was Buzz Lightyear's To Infinity and Beyond line. So that's her parents named
Really?
her off of.
Whoa.
That's awesome. That's such a
Yeah.
great name. I
Her parents
really,
must be fucking cool.
I hope,
Okay.
I hope Leo gave her the same speech that he gave Timothy Chalamet, where he said, "What was it? It was no capes, no drugs." That was the speech he
s-
gave. That was the speech he gave. That was what he. That was the advice he gave. Chalamet.
Did you see that Mark Wahlberg like recently said in an interview that like he like couldn't see himself in a Marvel movie because he's like, I couldn't see myself in one of those suits or something.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of Mark
be
Wahlberg's
fair,
like,
I couldn't
if I was
either.
in the and Mark Wahlberg's like, if I was in the Marvel universe, then Thanos wouldn't have snapped his fingers. That's what would have happened.
yeah. Nice callback, Tommy. It wouldn't have gone down that way if I was on that plane.
If I was in that Marvel.
Real. Search up Mark Wahlberg 9/11 if you want to read a funny story that you don't know about.
Oh God. Okay.
And then, do you not know this, Steve?
No.
Oh,
Dude.
Mark Wahlberg in an interview once said that if he was on one of the planes, like 993 or something like that during 9/11, it wouldn't have gone down that way, and he would have saved the plane.
Wow. Now that needs to be a movie. Fuck the United 93 movie. We need someone cast Mark Wahlberg into a 9/11 fantasy.
Well, that's what people thought Flight Risk was going to be. That Mel Gibson movie.
I don't know if we should really be doing like a 9/11 fantasy movie. To be fair, I don't
No,
know.
yeah, you're right. I think something
Maybe we
about that
leave-
seems a
maybe
little
we-
unpatriotic.
What
Maybe
was it?
we
Was
le-
it the
maybe
Family
we
Guy
le-
thing with James Woods, where it's like James Woods, the voice of the plane that like struck the Twin Towers, and David Spade's the window washer on the Twin Towers? It's like, oh, look at this wacky hijinks.
You know what? You're right. It's only too soon because it's like you have Quentin Tarantino who does Inglourious Bastards. He gets to shoot up Hitler, but no, too soon to do a 9/11 fantasy movie. You're right.
Where's Mark Wahlberg's Air Force One?
I feel like making a movie where you kill Nazis and then eradicate Adolf Hitler is like significantly different versus like a one-sided attack.
Yeah, I would say so. It would have to make a hard left where he would take the plane, fly it to Afghanistan, and kill Bin Laden at the end in order for it to be okay.
Yeah, it would be funny if it just ended like a Looney Tunes cartoon and he's just like kind of like that South Park 9/11 episode where they just treat Osama bin Laden like Cartman's literally Bugs Bunny in that, and they're just beating the crap out of him. It would just have to be like that. But I think this is why we leave it on the podcast cutting floor. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm actually going to cut this because it's pretty funny, but
It's pretty good.
No, keep it.
We'll see. We'll leave it to our own device.
Double it.
That's why you have upstairs Steve on the podcast.
that's why you have upstairs Steve on the podcast. The other sequence I really was the chase sequence at the end. After Willow is begrudgingly taken by the bounty hunter, I thought he was great. Who is that who played him? But he she gets dropped off at this like weird gang's place, and he's sitting in the car just being like, I don't like this, like, because Lockjaw is like, I'm going to kill this girl so I can become a Christmas adventurer. Like the whole movie kind of strings on the fact that he's pretty sure she's his daughter, and turns out she is. I'm really glad that Leo never finds out about it. I'm glad that his daughter will keep that a secret from him, because I feel like that's one thing
I did want to bring that up too. The fact that like she never tells him, and I don't think needs to, because I think a big theme of this movie is that your father is the man that raised you, not the person who you share your genetics with.
Yeah, and it also, like, at the very end of the chase sequence when she kills the bounty hunter that the Christmas Adventurers Club sent out, which I didn't understand why he was following her, but I'm guessing it was because she wasn't in the car, and he was like, that probably her, so let me try to get her. And like the only person the entire time since she's been taken from the Sisters Chapel is her father. It's the only person that that's actually looking for her, supporting her, trying to save her, rescue her, whatever. Like, it was a really powerful moment, a really powerful ending. But man, that made it. I heard that the French Connection was an influence for this movie, and I definitely saw it during that driving sequence. But just
I definitely saw that too.
Yeah,
wow, I didn't know
100%.
that. Very good. That's
Yeah.
another one we covered. Everybody, if you haven't listened to that episode, give that one a listen after you're done.
Yeah,
with
this is probably
one.
like our almost 10th time having Upstairs Steve on. So go check out the back
easily
catalog.
11. I didn't want to say anything, Timmy, but you didn't on the Clueless episode. You didn't say with special guest Upstairs Steve in the title. So
Yeah,
I'm lost as a special guest.
Yeah, everybody's kind of lost as a special guest now. If that makes you feel any better, I just made an executive decision.
Oh, so there's no more special guests in the titles.
Just in the description and in our hearts and in the listeners' hearts.
Yeah, basically.
That's good enough for me, sir.
Perfect. Any other thoughts you guys have before we rate this and wrap up this episode?
Regina Hall, great performance right there, as Deandra, one of the French 75s, and how she tells Chase Infinity that like her mom is like still alive, essentially.
Yeah.
So
No, she was cool. Definitely an underrated actress. I think that this movie is definitely action packed, edge of your seat. I liked it a lot, and you should definitely go see it. Before I give my rating, I think it's fun for the whole family, pun intended. Family movie.
I would definitely say it's not a family movie, but I digress.
There's themes about family. That's all that matters.
The Mark Wahlberg 9/11 movie we pitched would be a family movie.
Yeah. Well,
Tommy.
No, you can't cut it out.
Family, and that's what's so powerful about it.
I had to drop it. Oh, just an incredible.
Very good.
Just an incredible. Anytime I can reference The Last Jedi in that quote, I have to do it.
God.
But all right, review time. Give me your scores out of 5, fellas.
I'll go first, I guess. This I think is my top 3, if not my favorite movie of 2025 so far. I'm gonna have to go 5 out of 5. This is a 3-hour movie. You don't feel its length whatsoever. I mean, Paul Thomas Anderson came out with another classic. Just the performances, like the tone and stuff like that. It mixes like so many different genres so well, and like it still has this lightheartedness and it's like tense moments at the same time. So there's nothing really I could think of that like is a complaint about this movie, and just runs so well. 5 out of 5, total banger.
So, Steve,
I'll give it that 4.5 out of 5. That might be the highest rating I've ever given a movie. Definitely the movie of movies of 2025. Just to echo Tommy there. Acting's phenomenal across the board, even with actors that you may not recognize. And it's a movie that'll keep you locked in. It's 3 hours, but it goes by in what feels like, half hour, 45 minutes with how much is going on. Great movie. Highly recommended. Definitely go see, especially in theaters if you can.
I'm going 5. 5 out of 5 here. I think it's a movie of the moment, which I think is very rare considering how long movies take to come out, that it just somehow landed in the window that it landed in its release. I think it's a sprawling adventure. I think it's rich thematically. I think the characters are excellent. The acting is incredible. The camera, the cinematography is great. The pace, it's 2 hours, 42 minutes. You blink and this movie's over. 5 out of 5 for me. I couldn't recommend this more. Definitely my favorite. It's that and Sinners are my 2 favorites of the year so far.
Yeah, definitely up there.
Well, Upstairs Steve, thank you for coming on. You want to shout out where the people can find you quick?
Oh, absolutely. But I know that it's not going to be quick. If anybody's ever listened to a podcast with Upstairs Steve, you can find me on Instagram at big_MOOCH Mooch 821. Or if you want that uncut, unfiltered, uncensored Steve Muccioli, you can find him on Snapchat at SMUCC6 on the Snapchats. Big shout out to these guys. Always a pleasure being on the podcast. Thank you for having me. I hope I could enhance the movie reviews on every episode that you guys have me on as a guest. And I do enjoy being here and sharing my lovely, unhumbled opinion with your viewers, as well as you fine young gentlemen as well.
Well, we always appreciate you having on. Any final thoughts to wrap up this episode, Tom?
Well, real quick, we would have had to play the Al Pacino clip if it wasn't for Upstairs Steve, and it's 4.5 out of 5. So close.
He doesn't give them out, and I respect it.
He doesn't give 'em out.
It's got to be fucking perfect.
What's 5 out of 5 for you?
Goodfellas.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Being
Goodfellas.
Italian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Goodfellas, Godfather, that realm. You know, you could do a hard left into Star Wars land, but not like new Star Wars land, dude.
You know, like two of the movies.
Oh,
And that, two
yeah.
of the
Yeah,
movies,
like two of them.
Two of them, and we know which two they are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
But
Pulp Fiction, 5 out of 5 all day. I actually just got a Pulp Fiction tattoo. I'll show you guys afterwards because I don't want to like be on the recording being like, "It's right here on my leg, guys. Let me lift it up on the desk."
just trip over yourself or something like that.
And just
like,
you hear just crashing, and that's
Just-
how Steve died.
we find out you've been bottomless this whole time.
I've been Winnie the Poohing every single podcast.
Well, anyways,
That was weird. The one time that you came on the podcast and drove, and you were winning the pooing. That's crazy.
Well, I mean, let me tell you something.
I
It wasn't
always
weird
think you
enough that I
were
was
driving
driving
while
but I was
podcasting
driving
with us.
pantsless. That was the guys.
That was Moneyball.
For everyone listening, they're only half kidding. I was driving and I was sick during the
Moneyball.
Moneyball episode. Yes. So there was a lot of coughing. I tried to mute myself in between.
You did
all
pretty
the
good.
Coughs. Yeah, I
You did
did
good
all
while
right. I was
driving.
driving from New Hampshire to Massachusetts. I was on vacation, and I was like, "Oh, fuck, there's a podcast I have to do." We got it
I
done.
completely forgot.
We
It
got
was
it.
a great episode.
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning into our mini episode. That's probably only 10 minutes shorter than our regular episode.
Yeah, this one
No,
went off the. You know what?
that's
It's a
what'll happen
big. It's a
when you-
big movie, and then we had a 5-minute tangent about Mark Wahlberg and 9/11. So that just happened,
As you do.
as one does when they have a conversation amongst
One
friends.
does.
When Mark Wahlberg comes up, it naturally leads to that. But anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. You can leave us a 5-star review on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Helps us out, helps us grow the show. And you can follow us on social media. That's at Scene It Pod. Scene It as in the movie scene. And that's on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. And we're also on Blue Sky. That's podsceneit.bluesky.social. And next month, we're kicking off horror season. The time of year for me on the pod.
Tommy's
kicking
favorite
it
time
off.
of year, Christmas for
Yeah.
Tommy. Oh boy,
We're-
what do we have down the pipeline?
We're kicking it off with Poltergeist, and we're gonna have a special guest on that. So get ready for that.
All right.
Well, thank you all so much for listening. We will see you next time.